So I do have a motion, and Councillor Mahevik has very kindly taken carriage of this motion. This motion is put together from coming to holding a community meeting for one, but coming to one of Councillor Nunziata's community meeting, and I had staff at the very first meeting. I have also spoken to councillors who have had shelters come into their wards, and I've looked at the conditions, the considerations, the changes they have put forward to help integrate these shelters into their wards and to bring the services they feel are needed. We heard Councillor Fletcher speak about asking if people had looked at the cornerstone, if you'd looked at the conditions put on that. Some of these, a lot of these, are from the cornerstone. So we also heard about the underpass. One thing I have already done, because I actually didn't know there was an issue in the underpass until I came to Councillor Nunziata's meeting. No one had contacted my office about the lighting. I have obviously since gone by and seen it's orange lighting. I've already asked Hydro to do an audit of the underpass. Councillor Nunziata and I worked on the Kiel underpass and we got the lighting there improved. So we're going to do that no matter what. And that's going to get done sooner rather than later. So as you know, I did host my own meeting because my residents asked me to host. For that one, we handed out 2,000 flyers, because we also wanted more residents to be aware of it. It was on our Facebook, it was on our Twitter. I know Councillor Nunziata helped spread the word. I also went door to door in my ward to listen to residents. And what I was able to do, when I heard their concerns, I was able to provide information. It's difficult to get information out, and I think that's one thing we definitely need to improve. We also need to, as we've heard, work with staff on those maps. The maps thrown together rather quickly. Correct, there was misinformation, and I know Councillor Nunziata and I are going to work with staff and residents to make sure that everything which should be on those maps are on those maps. I'm just going to run through very quickly a couple of I've got basically 13 points to my motion. I'm looking at the convening the liaison committee with representatives of both 13 and 11, including local residents. Some have offered today, and I have residents in my ward already offered, with agency staff, clients, local councillors, other staff, to come together to form this liaison committee. I'm recommending we bring a third party in to help design and work with the liaison committee for the interior and the exterior of the shelter. So bring in someone who isn't actually city staff to help with a design. Also, I want a community person, so we have a website and an email service so residents can get information on the shelter, what is going on in the shelter, and also give input to the shelter. This should be...
You could...
I know, I only had 3 minutes to ask questions, and you gave everyone far longer. Can I just have I just want to touch very quickly on these.
Okay, but we can read.
No, I know, but sorry to interrupt, Mr. Chair. Residents here have come to 3 community meetings. We have heard their comments. This is their chance to know that we are listening to them.
Oh, I assure you, we've been listening.
No, I know you have,
since 9:30 this morning, since 10 this morning.
But the point is that Councillor Nunziata and I have been listening to them for several weeks now. I want them to know that we've heard what they're doing. We're working with staff. We're putting conditions in place. I'll go very quickly.
If you can wrap up.
I will very quickly. So we're going to get the Community Liaison Committee in there. We're going to be working with our public libraries, our transportation, our our Toronto Health, and our local police. These people will also bring services in. We're also wanting, I am going very quickly, I've asked for audits for the Runnymede Park. We heard there's concerns there. I also want TTC to look at the TTC, the services we have, the bus routes we have. Can we improve them? Can we add extra services? As I've already mentioned, I've already gone to Hydro to start improving the lighting in the underpass, but we need more done than just lighting. We've heard that loud and clear today. Coordinate service model for clients in the shelter itself, and make sure that the programming we have there is what is needed. Bring in more support for employment training, all the services that the men at the shelter need. We need the support for the community. I'm going to back up a minute. We want to go to the Minister of Health and request support for a community health provider or satellite provider within the Rockcliffe community. I also want it to go on into the Toronto Health budget, so we make sure we have health people on site. I have spoken to the 4 villagers. They have agreed to come and visit the location. We will get them talking to staff, but believe me, when they say they will come, I do trust them, but we do need that in agreement. But finally, the last one, M, which we haven't quite scrolled down to, I would like to conduct a 6-month review of operations in consultation with the Community Liaison Committee, which is made up of all the people, including the residents, and have that review reported back here to CD&R. So I believe Councillor Nunziata is doing some motions. I can't really speak until she presents them, but the ones I was made aware of, I do support, and I think there's other motions being brought forward which I can't speak to because I've definitely run out of time. But thank you, Mr. Chair.